Hi, everybody. This is Dave Jones with Storm Center Communications and GeoCollaborate. It's Wednesday, July 9th, 2025. Got another round of storms coming through the mid-Atlantic area, and we've had some other significant flooding going on around the country. I'm going to show you that and show you all the flash flood warnings and flood watches going on around the country. I'm going to try to do this real quick. This is a All Hazards Consortium update for the sensitive information sharing environment, so we can share information across from private sector to public sector and all be on the same page when big weather systems impact critical infrastructure and the ability for to potentially hamper movement of fleet utility vehicles across state boundaries. Well, this is the satellite picture, high resolution satellite picture from the NOAA Goes East satellite. This is in 1 minute mode, meaning that we're seeing an image every minute. And wow, we're seeing a lot of bubbles. You see those bubbles coming up? They are severe, well, close to severe thunderstorms. Not all of them are severe warned, but we do have some significant activity going on. Look at this, just west of Washington, D.C., southwest of D.C., here to the west of Baltimore. And you can see that anvil. That is the high anvil that a thunderstorm produces. Looks like a big mushroom cloud. And that anvil is moving across the eastern shore, and you can see the shadows. You can see that darkness coming, blocking the sun. Also in central and southwest Virginia, look at this line of severe thunderstorms. A lot of these are severe warned down into parts of North Carolina as well. And look at this big one right here in southern North Carolina, kind of close to Charlotte, North Carolina. We've got a lot of activity going on because we still have a lot of moisture left over in the mid-Atlantic and East Coast because of Tropical Storm Chantal that made landfall on July 5th in just south of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And it brought a lot of tropical moisture up with it. So let me show you one thing from this satellite image as well. I'm going to add and show you the infrared and enhanced imagery. I showed you this yesterday, and it's very interesting. I'm going to move this up just a little bit. Here's Maryland, Baltimore, Washington, D.C., down here, Richmond. Look at this big area of green, and you can see those bubbling, the bubbling of the clouds really creating cold temperatures aloft. Some of these storms have hail in them, but one of the things that's very interesting with this is that it's much broader. It's a much more significant line of storms that's coming through right now than came through yesterday. So we had some areas with very intense rainfall yesterday. This is more widespread. There is a flood watch in effect throughout this entire area, and I'm going to show you that on GeoCollaborate here in just a moment. So we do have these storms moving through the radar data. I'm going to switch over here to the radar data and what it looks like in the mid-Atlantic across Maryland, Baltimore, and Washington, D.C. Look at this. These are some pretty intense storms. We do have special marine warnings issued for some of these storms on the tidal Potomac right up to downtown Washington, D.C. We also have flood warnings in effect, including for Washington, D.C., the nation's capital, under a flood warning right now, and that extends out into Fairfax County. Also, another storm there off of Annapolis, creating a special marine warning. You don't want to be outside, especially in boats, when this line comes through. And look at this just to the south. There's also special marine warnings down further on the Potomac, and also severe thunderstorm warnings down here in Cumberland County and down towards Farmville, Hamden, Sydney in Southwest Virginia. These storms are dropping a lot of rain, and notice that while it stopped raining just out to the west here in Western Virginia, there are flash flood warnings going on. And so this is about to impact the DC area with some very strong winds, possibly up to 50, 55 miles per hour. And rainfall rates close to 2 inches per hour are likely in some of these areas. And we have had a number of storms. I'm going to show you GeoCollaborate here full screen because I want to show you all of the activity that's going on. And you can see, let me just tell you what all these colors mean. The pink area is a severe thunderstorm watch. That's a severe thunderstorm watch. Underneath of that, if you think of layers, this is layering on top. Underneath of that is a flood watch. We have a flood watch in effect for this entire area as well, until this line of storms moves through. And anything that you see outlined in red, outlined in green, but filled in with red, they are flash flood warnings. So northeast of Columbus, Ohio, east of Charleston, West Virginia. There's other flood warnings and flash flood warnings in southwestern Virginia. I just showed you these on the local radar. And so what I'm going to do is turn off the watches and advisories that the Weather Service has issued and just display the warnings. So anything you see in green outlined here is a flash flood warning. Look at all these severe thunderstorm warnings going on because of this intense line of thunderstorms. A lot of lightning associated with these storms as well, so please seek a place of safety. For the All Hazards Consortium, critical infrastructure might be impacted, such as roads and bridges. There could be where flash flood warnings have been issued in low-lying road crossings. They are likely to be flooded, particularly if they flood very frequently. I'll zoom in here a little bit to the nation's capital, and you can see this line of storms moving towards it, and also just west and northwest of Baltimore and in southern Pennsylvania. There's been a lot of rain over the last week in southern Pennsylvania, and look at this. There's a flood warning going on there, and also a severe thunderstorm warning headed towards Lancaster right now in Pennsylvania. Some of these storms had close to 1-inch hail, and that's something that could potentially damage some crops and plants and things like that. It doesn't do too much in the way of damaging cars, but if it comes down hard enough, you could see that kind of damage. So what I want to show you here is I'm going to widen out, and I'm going to show you this flood dashboard and what this means around here. So the National Weather Service is working very hard. Yes, many offices are understaffed. They have had many early retirements being taken. Others have been let go. But look at what they're doing right now around the country. 12 flood and flash flood watches. They're usually pretty large extent areas. 12 of those are in effect, and 33 flood and flash flood warnings are in effect right now. These warnings are affecting Arkansas, Florida, Minnesota, North Carolina, Ohio, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Virginia, and West Virginia. So if you don't think the National Weather Service works hard, look at all of these flash flood warnings that are being issued. And I also wanted to show you this from the standpoint of GeoCollaborate and the watches, warnings, and advisories that are going on. So again, here we are in the mid-Atlantic states. State College, Pennsylvania just issued a flash flood warning at 5:14. That's until 8:15 p.m. Again, you know, all of these that have been issued here are part of this group here. So I'm just going to go back here. So State College was issued at 5:14, in effect till 8:15. These flash flood warnings in green. The flash flood warning issued in Jacksonville, Florida. So let me back out here just a little bit in Jacksonville, Florida. I want to show you that because there's been some very slow-moving thunderstorms, and the warning, flash flood warning, is not for downtown Jacksonville, Florida, but it is just to the south. So that is in effect there until 6:45. That expires in around an hour, a little bit less than an hour. There's another one issued out of Wakefield, Virginia. And you can see, here's Jacksonville, Florida. There are some showers and thunderstorms around. Some of them are heavy, dropping heavy rain. Not going to last, but these rain showers in thunderstorms can get quite intense. And that's definitely what we see with these storms, particularly with the tropical atmosphere. And that's what's going on as well up to the north. And as this radar reloads here, you can see these thunderstorms going all the way up here to Beaufort, up towards North Charleston in South Carolina. So this is Beaufort, South Carolina, down towards Savannah, Georgia here. But this is something new we're testing out, just showing the map extent and all of the different watches and warnings that are going on. This particular one is showing the flash flood warning scrolling on the right-hand side of the screen while we're looking at all of these storms coming through. Okay, widening out to the tropics, I just want to tell you that there is nothing expected to develop over the next 7 days. The National Hurricane Center is watching it very closely. We are watching it very closely. The sea surface temperatures are showing from the GOES high-resolution satellite data, so we can see that. It's quite warm in the Gulf, a little bit cooler down here towards the Bay of Campeche, but still will support tropical development if something does want to develop. Right now, it doesn't look like it. It looks like things are pretty clear. I'll go over here towards the east. There's a patch of real warm sea surface temperatures in the central Atlantic. Down towards the islands, here's Puerto Rico. Here's the Caribbean chain. Barbados out here just starting to experience a little bit of sunset on its way. That's the Terminator line coming, the shadow of the sun setting. And it looks just fine in the tropics. What about out towards the west? Here's goes west. Nothing really significant happening. It looks pretty tranquil. Some showers moving into the Pacific Northwest, but we do have that heat dome creating quite a bit of heat out towards the west. So just make sure you don't overdo it. Drink lots of water when it gets hot out there. We've been dealing with these flood areas. And I'll bring GeoCollaborate back full screen here. We had major floods in the last week. We had Kerr County in Texas. That is a tragedy that continues to unfold. Just northwest in Kerr County, northwest of San Antonio, some of the responders are finally getting some relief from other responders coming in as far as away as Virginia. With the Urban Search and Rescue Team and Swiftwater Rescue Team coming in, driving more than 30 hours from Virginia Beach, Virginia, down to Kerrville and Kerr County, Texas. This is a major, major tragedy, and one that develops so quickly because of rapidly forming and slow-moving thunderstorms. There was a tropical air mass in place. And when those thunderstorms tap into that tropical environment and move slowly, we can easily get 15 to 20 inches of rain, and that's what happened. We also had on July 6th in Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina. It's still very wet in the Raleigh-Durham area. Here's Raleigh. We have severe thunderstorm warnings just to the west of Raleigh. That happened because of Tropical Storm Chantal making landfall south of Myrtle Beach, but that whole batch of moisture came up and over North Carolina. 12 inches of rain in 24 hours in some of these places around Durham where flash flooding occurred. Some was very close to, if not exceeding, record flood levels on some of the rivers there. And then we also have Ruidoso, New Mexico. That was 3 to 4 inches of rain. Here they are right now. This is Ruidoso, New Mexico, getting rain once again. Not really heavy, but the problem is they have burn scars in the mountains where they had recent wildfires a couple years ago. But these wildfires, it creates this thing called hydrophobicity. It means that when the wildfire burns very hot, it can change the chemical properties of the soil itself and turn that soil into almost cement. And no rain is going to be absorbed into the soil. When the rain falls, it runs right off. So 3 to 4 inches of rain yesterday created tragic events. I think we're at least 3 people have been killed, 2 children, which is awful. And we really need to step up our game in the weather community here to improve warnings and communication of what's going on that last mile to those people who need this information the most. So here is Ruidiso, New Mexico. They're under a flood watch. National Weather Service is watching it very closely. There is not currently a flood warning in effect there. So widening out here around the country, it does look like the big weather impacts are in a couple of places along the East Coast and Mid-Atlantic. These W's and H's, these are all severe weather reports over the last 24 hours. Hail reports, and H and W are wind reports. And then up in South Dakota, there is a lot of storminess going on right now in South Dakota. Matter of fact, I can show you that real quickly in the radar data and what that looks like. This is the Doppler radar from the National Weather Service in South Dakota. Look at these thunderstorms, these discrete cells. Doesn't look like they're tornadic, but they are hail producers. They are producing hail, 1 inch hail detected, 60 mile per hour observed winds. Some of the other storms, this one here, 1.75 inch, so almost 2 inch hail, which is radar indicated. The threat, this has a considerable tag on it, which means that it could produce considerable impacts, considerable damage here to crops, vehicles, and even siding with almost 2 inch hail. That is a severe thunderstorm, and this box indicates a severe thunderstorm warning. I also wanted to show you this capability here, which is derived from the GOES satellite, utilizing the global lightning mapper and AI, some automated intelligence algorithms that are showing the probability of lightning strikes. This is very beneficial to see where lightning has a high probability of striking. And you can see it is all along this line of showers and storms. Anywhere within the pink is a high probability of lightning strikes, even in certain areas where there are individual thunderstorms. See here in Texas, which is a little bit further away. Here's San Antonio. So there's an increase in some potential lightning striking in the recovery area for Kerr County. It's a little bit to the north, but still this area of storms, as they move to the south very slowly, could impact that area. And all of these little areas around the country where thunderstorms are, you can see the probability of lightning strikes is fairly high. This is a great product. We call it LightningCast, and we'll be showing it more in these updates, particularly after storms move through and rescue and response operations have to commence. And that is why we can just zoom right down here to any level that we want. And here is Kerrville in Texas. And this is Kerrville. This is Kerr County. There are some showers and storms forming right now over the headwaters of the Guadalupe River. So again, these are thunderstorms that are just starting to form. And you can see the increase in probability of lightning strikes throughout the area where the rescuers are trying to clear debris and still search for victims. That's the way it looks for this quick update. I'm Dave Jones with Storm Center Communications and GeoCollaborate. Thanks so much for watching. We're bringing you some additional tools so you can see just how hard the National Weather Service is working and issuing those watches, warnings, those advisories. The NOAA GOES satellite is hard at work, and we're also working to bring you more ocean observations when tropical storms and hurricanes form, because those observations are critical for us to communicate things like wave heights that are headed towards the coastline. What are the currents doing out in the oceans? And what kind of rip currents are evolving that could impact life and safety at the beach? We have a lot to talk about over the next several months, the rest of the year. And keep yourself safe. Watch out for yourself, and also watch out for your neighbors. They really do appreciate it. Thanks so much, and we'll see you tomorrow.